Mr. Nobuo Tanaka joins me now. He is the former Director General of the IEA and is now heading up a peace foundation, of course, in Japan. So you're kept busy all the time, but still a tremendous interest in the energy industry. Tell us a bit about this meeting particularly.
Well, I really enjoy being here because the gas is getting more and more interesting and important. Fatih Birol, my successor's successor, said recently in Japan that we are facing the second revolution in the natural gas sector. And he means the first revolution was the shale gas. The second revolution is by the expanding trade of LNG. So then what is the consequence of that? We will discuss about here with consumers, producers. So this International Energy Forum IGU Ministerial Conference is certainly very interesting and very timing for the gas sector.
When we listen to the ministers and we listen to experts here, some challenges still in the gas market, and we're almost in an oversupply era at the moment. Do you think that this will work its way naturally out?
Yeah, the gas is the necessary, very sustainable source of energy in the future. So the gas will expand. Certainly for the time being, maybe supply exceeds demands, but eventually demand will follow up. So I'm sure that the market is expanding. Not only pipelines, but LNG trade will expand. So this will give a very interesting market situation. The pricing is always a big issue here, right? But the situation will give us the more use of gas relative to coal, oil. So in the fossil fuel, the future is definitely in the gas sector. So we are talking about techniques, technologies, pricing issues, regulations, infrastructure. So all these elements must be discussed and set out for making the good market for the future of the natural gas.
When we have a market that is quite volatile and perhaps oversupplied at the moment, do you think that the consumer-producer dialogue is really the key to actually bringing a solution to this market?
Certainly, having better information for both consumers and producers is definitely necessary. It's not easy to share the whole information, but general discussion about the direction of the market and how we contribute each other into the better pricing, better securities, better sustainability for the future. I think this forum makes a very good sense for everybody.
Now, of course, this is very much at the heart of the work that the International Energy Forum does. How important do you think that is, that they actually get stronger and continue that agenda?
This is an interesting question, because when the market expands in the natural gas, certainly new players coming in. So with new players, especially for the consumers in East Asia or South Asia, these are the very important players, right? The consuming countries should play a much important role than the suppliers in the future, because demand side management, energy efficiency is certainly the key for the sustainability as well as competitiveness. So dialogue is important, but newcomers as not only producer but consumer countries must play a very important role here.
What more do you think that the International Energy Forum could do?
I think we are getting in the second revolution of the natural gas, as I said. If that's the case, this forum will provide such a role of better information exchange and technologies, pricing, where the hub of trade is happening, what is happening in the geopolitics of the new American president. So there are many things we have to discuss and know where we are heading.
What do you think are the main challenges as we go into 2017?
I think that the current discussion about the American policies is a key issue. The new president will certainly make a very different policies in many spheres. And geopolitics, trade issues, energy policy, you can name it. And American policy certainly impacts everybody. So how we see the evolution of the policy is the main elements of how we see the future of the natural gas market or energy market as a whole.
And what would your closing words be to the policymakers out there? What would you like to see happen?
This is important message which I have been sending since the time of the IEA. Private sector must do business under the regulation. And if regulation changes from time to time, how can we invest for 40 years, 50 years of the energy infrastructure? So the stability of the policy is really important. If regulation changes day to day, on and off and on and off on certain energy sources, then nobody invests. So the stability of the regulation, stability of the energy policy, this is the most important thing that policymakers should know about.